Hey Acers, I had started this video just a second ago and was cutting it open and my stupid box hit the stupid keyboard, paused the video and started it again. So now I've really screwed up the video, but this is from Studio 2, the shippers of Savage Worlds products. Here, let's maybe angle this down a little bit more. Maybe get that glare off me. Nope, not going to work. So let's go ahead and cut this open. If I can just keep it from hitting pause again. Okay. Let's keep it tipped back this time so I can sit down and open this. I haven't even opened this yet. This is so cool to get to actually open it with you. Okay. I compliment Studio 2, first of all, on the thickness of their cardboard, on their boxes. These are buff boxes because they're going to go through some shipping. Second, good thick bubble wrap. I like that. That's impressive because that definitely keeps the product as still as possible during shipping. Doesn't mean that I've not gotten books that are a little banged up and stuff, but yeah, it's getting better than it was. So let's go to the next thing. First thing in the box. Here, I'm going to angle it that way and you can see all the stuff in the box. First thing in the box that's nearest to me is the horror action deck. And they're oversized action cards. I'll open that up in a minute. The fantasy action deck was pretty good. The standard oversized action deck for Savage Worlds is really good. It's not great. It's not like air cushion bicycle card great, but it's the best that I've seen from Savage Worlds because their stuff for deluxe edition was sticky and it would stick together and you couldn't even really work with it. So I like the fantasy deck. I like the standard oversized action deck. I do have to warn against the Deadlands oversized action deck though because that one they went like thinner on the cardboard of the cards and it wasn't quite as good, the paperboard. Next are the horror archetype cards. Those are going to be handy. And then the whole thing that I was waiting for, drum roll, brrr, the horror companion. So now I have 3 of the companions. The only 3 that have been shipped in print yet. Then coming in after that is the first of the Pinebox Middle School map packs, which Pinnacle always does a great job with their map packs. I'd say with the exception of in ETU, the spaces are a little bit smaller than what the tokens end up being, but that's okay. Pinebox Middle School map pack number 2. But I still like them. They're still a good representation. The Savage Worlds Horror Pawn Set, which I've got over there on the shelf. I've got the science fiction pawn set, and I've got the fantasy pawn set. Or not science fiction, the Superpowers Companion pawn set, and the fantasy pawn set. The science fiction one's up on Pinnacle right now. So if you get a chance, go get it. Go get in on the Kickstarter for the science fiction companion because with 23 days left to go, they were last night when I checked. Well, because it was 24 days yesterday, but when I checked last night, it was $221,000 with almost 2,000 backers. So it's worth it. It's worth getting in on at when they do these Kickstarters because this is a Kickstarter that I backed. And this is worth it because here comes the final part. Pinebox Texas Middle School, which is normally $130 or $125. So let's put the box aside. Thank you, box. You did a good job and you got it here. Let's go through these and kind of open these up and take a look at what we got inside. Okay, the pawns are die-cut pawns. And I'm going to just show you the picture on the back because that's going to go over here on my shelf with my Superpowers and fantasy pawn sets because I'm not going to pop those open just yet. I have popped a few of their pawn sets open. They're die-cut pawns. They're really good. Here's the pawn set that comes for Deadlands Lost Colony, for example. And you can see that the die cuts really tight. There's the base pieces for it, and they're double-sided pawns. They're printed really nicely. They come out in nice silhouettes. They're really good pawns. It's just I don't use them that often. The only ones I really use, the only time I really use the pawns is when I do. I only really use the pawns when I do like some really tactical heavy stuff, and even then I don't use it that often. So let's open Pinebox Middle School first. And this one, just to pull my opener back out again. Okay, so this comes with the Pinebox setting book, the GM screen, the adventure booklet, the Pinebox poster map, archive cards, or archetype cards for specifically Pinebox Middle School, not to be confused with the archetype cards that we'll open here for the horror stuff in a minute. But these could be used together. That's one nice thing about the way Pinnacle does their stuff, is that almost any character from any set could be used in any other game. You might throw the balance off a little bit, but it can be done. 25 bennies, a set of dice, a set of Pinebox pawns, ally and adversary cards, and phone reception cards. And it does require the Savage Worlds core rulebook to play it. So let's take a look in here. As always, Pinnacle does a very, very good job at the quality of their workmanship. And I know that they've recently had to send out an apology to all of us who are waiting on some of their other things to ship, because those morons over in the Red Sea are causing problems. And I didn't realize how much of our shipping went through the Red Sea to cut shipping traffic down. So anyway, let's go ahead and open this up. Here we go. Shrink wrap is off. Now, Pinebox Middle School takes place in the titular Pinebox, Texas, which, of course, is a fictitious town, but it's out in East Texas, and it happens to be the town just outside of where East Texas University sits. So this is part of that universe. Got the box lid off, and you can see the great artwork, fabulous artwork, and you can see my ring light reflecting in it. Okay. First of all, here's that wall map, of Pinebox. That's Pinebox, and it shows where some of the things that Pinebox has in it are. It shows titular East Texas University up over here. It shows the big thicket down here. This is great because this is where I like to set Chickens in the Mist. Well, that's where Chickens in the Mist takes place, is down in here in the big thicket. But I like to use the middle school kids area as the overall characters for it. It makes things really nice because especially when you do it with middle schoolers, they shouldn't be out there in the first place, and they know it. And then here is a prospectus of Pinebox Middle School, which is, let's see here, Pinebox Middle School, right here in the middle of the map. So, and that's really where it's at. And it's not actually that far from the big thicket. The big thicket, for those of you who haven't looked it up, and I've done a little bit of research on it, but I've never been there yet. They are that is where we have almost every major biome in the world in that. So it's got pine forest, it's got deciduous forest, it's got swamp, it's got marsh, it's even got jungle and things like that. And it also has a lot of poisonous snakes and other things in it, and thorny bushes and things like that. So that's actually one of the things to be aware of with Pinebox. And also, it's humidity. It has humidity because it's southeast Texas, and it is right there on the Gulf. Here are the Pinebox middle school ponds, and you can just see this is just the backs of the sheet, and it tells you up here, it gives you a listing of what they are, and it makes it look like a listing of term paper kind of stuff. That's pretty cool. Here are the cell signal cards. And as you can see, that's what your cell signal kind of looks like when you get it. That's the cell signal. There are, okay, I'm going to need to pull out my knife and pop this open. Okay, got the corner open. It's always a trick to do this without scoring the actual product. I've gotten better at it, much better, but I do have a few of these products that I have a nice little knife cut on them. Okay, so there's the next piece that's unwrapped. And these are the the ally and foe ones. All-consuming organism, berserk kid, blood demon, a Doberman pincher, a ghoul, an inferno demon, Leto 3000, longhorn minotaur, molten menace, power brain, rake, Robo Jensen, Shadow Doctor, Spider Amanda, Vigor, Were Coyote, and Yellow Woman. So I guess those are just enemy cards. So yeah, that's I'm gonna leave the cell phone ones in there for now, but I'm gonna definitely use I'm gonna use those cell phone signals as I continue to run East Texas University, because excuse me. East Texas University also now is dealing with cell phones because it's so crazy. That's one place where I feel bad for game designers, because they're designing it obviously based on where they are currently in their game, or what time period the game's set in, and that can change. The technology has changed so much. I mean, but look at just science fiction in general. In one of Heinlein's books, I think it's called The Family Stone, or The Rolling Stones, something like that. Anyway, the Stone family, they're plotting their travel through space using slide rules. He couldn't even fathom computers coming out. So here are the archetypes. We got an animal lover. And the great thing is, if you haven't seen a Savage Worlds archetype card before, this card is an entire character sheet. And it's an entire character sheet for, looks like, seventh grader. So, animal lover, athlete, budding scientist, country kid, crafter, delinquent, entrepreneur, fine arts student, gamer, video gamer, maybe RPGer, but most likely video gamer. We owned it first. Ghost Hunter. Oh, there's a little bit of schmutz on this one. Medium and Ranger Scout. And you always have to remind your players, the picture here on the card is not what the picture is not what you're bound by. So let's go further here. The GM screen. Again, this is something I don't use very often. I don't very often use Game Master screens. And here's the reason why. I make my rolls out in the open whenever I can. I try to make it so the players know exactly what they're competing against. And on the whole, that has worked really well for me. So let's drop this off. Now, the GM screens, the nice thing about the way Pinnacle does them, of course, is they're only $20. And they have everything that's pertinent to that adventure, that edition, in a 3-fold GM screen. Also, it happens to include 2 Terrifying Adventures by Tracy Sizemore, a really good friend of mine, and Ed Wetterman, who invented the Pinebox, Texas universe. And here is the Pinebox Middle School, Pinebox, Texas Middle School 3-fold GM screen. Okay, I'm going to try and not let those fall over. Digging further here, we finally get to the actual Pinebox Middle School setting book, which, as per most recent Pinnacle books, they realized they could put in bookmarks. And these are red, white, and blue, of course, the colors of Texas. And it's got, oh wow, this is called a danged effects table. And you draw a card and you get an effect out of it. Things that can be like, technology completely fails the hero for this session. It's the anti-technology or a hindrance. If the character already has that hindrance, the result is D6 die roll. It is read one step. The result on the D6 die roll is read one step lower. Lagging becomes borked, etc. As a result of 1, as a result of 1 means the device is busted beyond repair. So this also gives the Pinebox Middle School layout not quite as cool as the map. I like the map, but the map is designed to look like it's posted on a cork board up in the hall or something. And I even like the red tops too. That I should have looked through the PDF to preview this, but that's okay. They give a list of kid-friendly Texas terminology, and this is designed to capture that feel of Stranger Things and things like that. Making characters is covered here, of course. They've got new hindrances and edges. They've got gear and gadgets. So they do have a listing of firearms here, or a listing for firearms, I should say. And it says, while Pinebox Middle School is set in Texas, a state where many get exposure to firearms at a young age, this is a game of wits and ingenuity more than firepower. This is not to say heroes are incapable of using guns, but it should be extremely rare or it will ruin the kid detective nature of the setting. Remember, too, that in this day and age, even in Texas, a middle schooler caught with a firearm in any circumstance other than hunting, as they might say, hunting, or target practice under adult supervision, is subject to immediate, intense intervention. So it does have a few like CO2 air pistols and rifles, which incidentally a CO2 rifle can really do some stuff. So I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna do a full review of this at another point, but this, like the original ETU, goes through an adventure, Descent into the Inferno, that goes through your 6th, 7th, and 8th grade years. And so it looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. A lot of fun. And of course there are the themed bennies. If I can get them out. Oh, they're already peeling out. Okay, so they're covered to the edges this time. And that's different than it was last with some of the previous sets. They've put the adhesive discs on the school disc to the edge. You can see that. Compared with, I've shown you other bennies before, I believe, in other unboxing videos. But yeah, so there's that one of the friends sitting around the fire. It's going to be 5 of those. The next one's going to be a kid sneaking under a window. I can't get a good shot of that. There you go. And I still compliment Pinnacle on the quality of their bennies. Then we got a kid using a cell phone trying to take a picture of a ghost. They always do 5 styles and 5 of each. A scientist type kid picking up things in a field. And this last one looks like a clubhouse. So that's the bennies that come with this, and that's pretty cool. I usually shuffle them up and mix them up and stuff like that, but that usually just happens over time. In this case, they kind of just kept falling into my box here, so it worked for me anyway. Oh, goodness. I fell off, hit my foot, and now I've got to find where it skipped to. Felt it hit my toe. Oh, there it is. I should be streaming this instead of just recording it. But that's okay. Ah, goodness. Didn't want that to happen. Exactly what I didn't want to happen. Because as you're putting them in, sometimes they fall sideways, and it's a pain to get them back up. Because they're packing so good that sometimes it's hard to get back to them. But I think I got them all back in there. So that's the bennies. And it also comes with the dice set, which the cool thing is their wild die always has like something on it. In this case, it's a game controller. And I usually try to keep them in the bag they came in, because that's just the best for me. Now, you guys saw me talk in earlier videos about why I like Game Science and their dice better, but anyway, so that's the Pinebox Middle School set here. The box set, which is fabulous, absolutely fabulous and well done. And I'm going to put most of this back in the box, and I'll still show you quick glances at the other elements that came with this. So there's the archetype cards. Here's I guess there's a couple allies in there, I'm not sure. And then there's the cell signal cards. That's pretty cool. I like how they kind of have a random or representative. I haven't actually read what I'm supposed to do with the cell signal cards yet, but I know it's going to be useful. The pawns and the map. Let's go ahead and close that up. Gotta clean that shelf off and then put all my box sets down there. because this whole thing's going to just all be role-playing games eventually. I'll have to store my other stuff in other places, my business books and things like that. And I'm not going to put Deadlands, I'm not going to put this on top of my Deadlands and Deadlands Lost Colony. I'm actually going to put it on the bottom, because on the bottom is where it'll go best right now. Okay. Oh, well, yeah, and there were the 2 map packs. So they're double-sided large posters. And they're 30 by 24 inches and 1-inch grid. So I guess maybe I just had a hard time using the ones that were the PDFs that I converted into VTT. So that might, with ETU though. So that might be why I had a hard time with them. They're dry and wet erase, and they feature locations in the campaign. So that's map packs 1 and 2. I'm going to put those over here with the other map packs I got. Actually going to put them right next to the East Texas University stuff. There we go. Okay, next let's look at the horror companion real quick. This is, of course, the horror companion, and it stars our favorite lead, Red. She's kind of everybody's favorite lead, and there she is inside of a snowbound house, and the bad things coming up at her, and it's got extra hindrances and edges, monstrous heroes, monstrous edges. So you can have your angel, your demon, your mummy, your patchwork monsters, phantoms, revenants, vampires, werewolves, things like that. You can play all those kind of characters using this. This is great. The gear is also great. Special gear: crucifix or holy symbol, EMF meter, ghost traps. If you're playing with them, it's got things of lodges, of secret societies that exist to fight these things. So this is very much stepping into the territory of Rippers, which I showed in a previous video with another haul. But I purposely got that one, even though there was some new stuff coming out. Setting rules. It has some different setting rules than just straight up Savage Worlds. It does have, and I can fill the bookmarks in there. It does have the buckets of blood option that you can bring in or remove. Difficult healing, different downtime options, research and training and rest, environmental phenomena, including weather and storms, expanded fear effects section. And this one I have been using a little bit as I've been using this a little bit to help run my ETU better. But I kind of should have been using also more of Pinebox Middle School. That would have been helpful. There's great things on magic and who can use it and things like that. There's things on familiars, ritual components. I think they pulled that directly from ETU, and that was a good call. Ritual magic, new powers, to add to the list, but it's not too many extra new powers. That's one thing that I gotta give them, is that they. Okay, so their new powers list goes from, let's see, 83. Okay, going back through here, new powers. Here we go. Okay, so it's 10 pages of new powers, but that's also with artwork and little inserts and things like that. Kind of has some arcane items. That tome looks a lot like the one from Gravity Falls, which is pretty darn cool. Creatures. It's got evil creatures in here. Um, Haunted Armor, pretty cool. And oh yes, Jack in the Box. That's the Savage Worlds Jack. That's pretty cool. And a lot of this, yeah, I've had access to the PDFs for a while, but I also haven't had the time to look through them. So this is, in a lot of ways, my first time getting to take a look through what you've got here. Got the entire were creature section: were jaguars, were sharks, werewolves, will o' the wisps, xenoforms, zombies, zombie lord, oh. Scary tales. It's got this is a section on how to do a horror story, which I'm gonna definitely have to read up on this, because that's one of the things that will definitely help my overall game mastering of East Texas University. So I'm going to bookmark that section with the last of my bookmarks, so that way I can get to it quicker. I'm going to easily be able to find this. And that's, of course, the reason why you want to do the kind of bookmarking and stuff like that. And I'll get back to the other ones in a little bit. But yeah, that's the basics of this, and it normally runs $30 even. So, horror companion, definitely worth it. Definitely going in my box with my other companion books. Now, let's look at the last couple things that came in here. The horror action deck. Now, the regular action deck has that Jack character, the Pinnacle Jack character, and he's kind of one that's been around for a while, Smiling Jack. But this, I haven't actually even seen these yet at all. Oh, and there's one, Smiling Jack right there. That's that's one of the Jokers. That's the red Joker. Okay. There we go. I do appreciate when they put pull strips on card decks, like actual card packs and stuff. That's always nice. I helped my daughter open up some cards for another board game, and she did that. So that's the red Joker, and this is the black Joker, and the Ace of Diamonds is a cultist. King of Diamonds, Queen of Diamonds, Jack of Diamonds. And then the rest of the cards kind of all have this look to them. Okay. Pretty nice. Okay. Ace of Hearts is a demon. King of Hearts is a soldier. Queen of Hearts, Victorian lady, and Jack of Hearts, scared looking kid. And then Ace of Clubs, a mummy. King of Clubs, dude who looks like he can punch things out. Queen of Clubs, a doctor ready for action. Jack of Clubs, our jock from East Texas University. Excellent. Good call. Although he's got a B on his, so it's not quite ETU, but that's our dude from ETU. Ace of Spades, the Wereshark. King of Spades, the Mesmerist. Queen of Spades, the Witch, Goth Girl. And then Jack of Spades is the Priest. And then, again, just the same kind of background for the cards. Okay, so actually I'm going to go ahead and give this a shuffle. I do have to say, thickness-wise on the cards, they're right. They did it right this time. And I hope these ones don't curve on me like my fantasy ones did. Because I think shipping them in the weather is something that damaged them or something, because, yeah. So, just as far as combinatorics goes, something that I learned from a math professor was that if you shuffle a brand new deck 8 times, you've created a random order that cannot be duplicated in the entire future moving history of the universe. So basically, you've created an event that is singular to that moment. The order of these cards right now is singular to the order of these cards and will never be duplicated again. So, and they fan nice. Oh yeah. As many of you who followed my channel know, I used to be a professional card magician. And that's one of the keys to the way things go. And I like this horror action deck. This is really cool. These usually run $19.99. Let's take a look at the horror archetype cards, also $19.99. So if you look at the entire box set that I got here, or the entire shipment box, there is basically 30, 20, 20, $124.99, so $125. That puts me right up around, I mean, one of these with that 125 in and of itself covers my initial Kickstarter covering. And that's the way Pinnacle rolls. When they hit stretch goals and stuff, they definitely make it worth your time and money. So, let's take a look at this sealed pack of archetype cards. And this one's starting at a season rank. Most cases you will get season rank characters. And that's a good place to start for just a one-shot or things like that. But when you're doing certain one-shots, you do want novice characters. But anyway, there's the Survivor, the Nerd. Okay, that's going in the box wrong. And now she's stuck in there. Okay. Okay, Survivor, Nerd, Jock, Ghost Hunter, Exorcist, Psychic, hey, it's a gamer who's actually a gamer, role-playing gamer, the Party Animal, the Witch, the Runner, kind of like Shaggy in Scooby-Doo. He's going to just run away. He's scared of everything. I mean, the hindrance are Jumpy, Loyal, and Yellow. So I think Jumpy is, it's make fear check whenever there's a sudden noise. And, yeah, he's got fleet-footed, so he's going to run away. The Occultist, the Doctor. I used this archetype as a character in my run-through of Movie Night for East Texas University. When I did the VTT. The Constable, the Journalist, the Aristocrat, the Burglar, the Sailor, the Mambo, the Explorer, hello Red, Soldier, Gumshoe, kind of like the way there was a Darren McGavin character, Kolchak the Night Stalker, kind of reminds me of that. The Socialite, the Magician, or Mesmerist as I called him when I looked at him in the book, the Librarian, the Angel, the Demon, the Mummy, the Patchwork Man, or Frankenstein's monster kind of guy, the Phantom, the Revenant,
the vampire, and the werewolf. Also, a demonologist, a slayer, a nemesis, and finally, a swamp freak. So that's what I got in my Pinnacle set here. And many thanks to Pinnacle and those who produce these things. They do a great job, and they keep developing new stuff, and they keep us entertained. And I'm having a great time with your stuff, and I'm having a great time running your game. So shout out to Pinnacle, Shane Hensley, and all of my friends there, the Blacks. I give special thanks to Clint Black and his wife, his wonderful wife. Shoot. I'm going to pause this for a second. Jody and everyone else there at Pinnacle who I've worked with and who's worked with me, and I've been able to just continue to promote your products here. You guys have some amazing stuff. This is not sponsored by Pinnacle in any way, and I think that you guys really need to look into possibly getting some stuff like the horror companions. The companions alone are worth getting. And encourage your friends to continue to buy and things like that. This is really just, it's been a blast. And I'm grateful for you guys. Thanks for coming. And remember that I do love you. And if no one's told you that today, you're loved. And you're amazing. And you are one of the best things that's ever happened to this planet. The world is a better place because you're in it. Let's keep it going. And I hope to see you at my table.